Managing emotional levels is cultural. If we've got our Finns, we talked at lunchtime about that, the propensity of some Finnish males to be on the quiet side of respecting silence as a valid part of communication and dialogue. For a couple of jokes, see Vanso afterwards, he is the expert on Finnish humour. We're in the danger zone in terms of revs, and there's a danger that you're going to stall. So if you've got Brazilian party guys, it's going to be, are they paying attention, or are they too busy having a good time? And in the right zone, we've got a mixture of engagement, reflection, thought, memory. We'll talk about a few other things as well. But if we've lost and they tune out, and it's very easy. If they're in their homes, we've got the kettle, the loo, distracting them, the call of the wild, or the kids coming in. Which reminds me, I was doing, for some reason I switched the camera on, always a bad move. My kids came home from school. So I'm doing this Charlie Chaplin, whatever his name was, the mime artist, Marcel Marceau, to put the kettle on for a cup of tea, have something to, and then I realised that everyone was watching me. I was not paying attention, so why should they? Not a good move, not a good move. Well, my other trick, I was so into Wikipedia, I was doing a lecture on language, and I was so into this, discovering which words in the English language came from other countries. Coleslaw from the Netherlands, and pistol from the Czech Republic, and lift and bistro from Russia, that I forgot that my own webinar broadcast had begun 10 minutes ago. But I was not attending. I was not. So here's some presenter tricks that we find. Tell, tell, tell. So the army instruct us to tell what you're going to tell the audience, to tell it to them, and to tell them what you've just told them. I believe in that reinforcement of repetition. Hooks are wonderful. Who's read that deep classical novel, The Da Vinci Code, by Professor Dan Brown? Okay, couple of overt, honest people, thank you, Kelly. I'm an alcoholic. I've read the Da Vinci Code. The worst hooks between chapters. So the end of chapter 5, and it looked like David would be murdered within the next minute. Chapter 2, Tom Hanks unties him from the railroad track. The worst hooks ever. But good hooks are very powerful. And then we have the idea of, it's called salt. So the English idiom, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. So the stubbornness of a horse. Peter Thompson in the UK says, I know how to make a horse drink. I put salt in its breakfast oats. So salt and hooks. And I'm giving you a few along the way, see if you can spot them. And then we have the ABC of presentation skills. A is for attention, getting people's attention. And fear, negative away motivation, is 3 times stronger than toward motivation. So what was my A? What was my attention statement to you? Can anyone remember? We'll have to edit this again if there's nothing. How did I try to get your attention? Obviously I failed completely.
You said we were going to have a go later.
Okay, bit of fear, very good. And also, thank you, Helen. That tenner was well spent.
It was, actually.
Oh, inflation. Welcome to Poland. It was so cheap the last time I was there. So we have that attention idea of the negative creating fear or anticipation. Very good. Benefits. Can anyone remember a benefit statement if you master the webinar?
You get contracts in Poland.
You get contracts in Poland, you come back, you get to visit exotic country and meet pleasant people. Credibility. Does anyone remember my modest?
No-go.
Name it, we're being recorded. Did you see anything?
I saw them, yeah.
You saw the 1 or 2 logos of people I've... Good, okay. So attention, benefit, credibility will get you most of the way. And telling stories. So in terms of conflict or in terms of broadcasting to a brick wall, that was that. Or surprising people. Now, a little bit of interaction. Here's just a silly one. I remember that was a punchline to a gig we were doing in Spain. And that was quite provocative, because guess what? These guys were business people. So strategy was right in the middle, and there were these upstarts, Laura and myself, who were talking about something else. So this was very provocative. So let's try some provocation. Hands up if you are happily married. I would say that was a slow response. Okay, I've got to... Keeping your hand up, that is great, Bruce. That's good. That's the most positive sign. And guys, you need to buy some flowers. Make a call tonight. So one point I've got to make, we're on a conference, so just remember, all married people, that you did put your hand up. Slow.
Proudly.
Proud. Yes, you love your wife. That's beautiful. But the key factor, I'm going to shock you now, you did not choose your partner. Did you know that? That's a fact. You did not choose your partner. Do you want me to resolve that issue?
Yes, please.
Later. Come back to me afterwards. Hoocher. Salt. Hook. Later. Do you get it? It's illustrating it, but I do have the answers later. Who chose a science subject at university? Less people, a more cautious approach. You did not choose that subject. Do you want to resolve that? Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Later. We didn't choose our main academic story. Answers will be provided after you've paid attention to the whole webinar. Do you begin to understand how it works? Good.